It started in the streets, on corners, in basements, on borrowed mics with broken beats. A voice for the unheard, a rhythm for the restless. It's global, louder than ever, streaming across continents, chart-topping, genre-bending, culture-defining. These are the new voices, the digital poets of a generation raised on hustle, hashtags, and heartbreak. They're not waiting for a seat at the table. They're building their own. This is more than music. This is a movement. This is hip-hop. He crashed into hip-hop like a lightning bolt. Loud, controversial, and impossible to ignore. Tyler, the creator, wasn't just another rapper trying to break through. He was an architect of a new era. From the anarchic days of Odd Future to Grammy-winning albums and fashion empire dreams, Tyler has reshaped what it means to be a hip-hop artist in the 21st century. Tyler, the creator, born Tyler Gregory Okonma on March 6, 1991, in Ladera Heights, California, displayed creativity and independence from a young age. Raised primarily by his mother, as he never met his father, Tyler grew up in a single-parent household that moved frequently around the Los Angeles area. Tyler found strength in his family dynamic with his mother, who supported him all throughout his life. Even though he has not met his father, Tyler has come to terms and has expressed that he is fine not having a father figure in his life. Despite limited resources, he found ways to express himself through music, drawing, and design, skills that would later define his unique artistry. As a child, Tyler was obsessed with album covers and track lists. He would design imaginary album artwork and plan out fictional releases, long before he had access to the tools to make music. This early passion for aesthetics and structure hinted at his future as a meticulous creative director. His mother appreciated his love for music to the point where she bought him a keyboard to encourage his early passion. He taught himself to play the piano, developing a deep interest in music production and composition that would become central to his career. Tyler attended several schools during his adolescence, including Westchester High School and El Camino Rio High School. Though not academically focused, he stood out for his bold personality and artistic interests. He often felt like an outsider, and that outsider identity became a core theme in his later music. Tyler's love for artists like Pharrell Williams, Eminem, and N.E.R.D. inspired him to experiment with his own sound and style. In his teenage years, Tyler began posting music online, eventually forming the Odd Future Collective in 2007 with like-minded friends. These early steps marked the beginning of his rise, but they were rooted in a childhood filled with imagination, defiance, and a need to carve out space in a world where he didn't always feel he belonged. Odd Future, short for Odd Future Wolfgang Kill Them All, was more than just a rap collective. It was a cultural explosion that redefined the boundaries of hip-hop in the late 2000s and early 2010s. Formed in Los Angeles around 2007 by Tyler, the creator, Odd Future was a crew of young, rebellious artists who created music, art, and media entirely on their own terms. Their core members included Tyler, Earl Sweatshirt, Frank Ocean, Haji Beats, Damo Genesis, Left Brain, Sid the Kid, and others, each bringing a unique style and perspective to the group. What set Odd Future apart was their DIY ethos. They produced their own music, filmed their own videos, and built a cult-like fan base through Tumblr, YouTube, and underground shows. Their early mixtapes, including the Odd Future tape and Radical, were raw and unapologetic, filled with dark humor, surreal storytelling, and shock value lyrics that polarized audiences. Tyler's Bastard and Earl Sweatshirt's Earl became internet sensations, showcasing their lyrical talent and rebellious energy. Odd Future wasn't just a music group, they were a brand, With their distinctive donut logo, golf wang clothing line, and even a sketch comedy show, they blurred the line between music, fashion, and pop culture. They were loud, chaotic, and often controversial, but their impact was undeniable. Though the group gradually disbanded and its members pursued solo careers, the legacy of Odd Future lives on. They paved the way for a new generation of artists who valued authenticity, individuality, and creative control. From Frank Ocean's emotional vulnerability to Tyler's genre-bending evolution, Odd Future proved that hip-hop could be anything. In May 2011, Tyler, the Creator, released Goblin, his debut studio album and a polarizing yet groundbreaking project that solidified his position as a provocateur in modern hip-hop. The album is more than just a collection of tracks. It's a psychological and emotional portrait of a young artist wrestling with fame, mental health, and his place in the world. The album plays out like a confessional. Tyler confronts his demons head-on, often blurring the line between character and creator. Tracks like Yonkers, the album's breakout single, display his ability to shock and captivate in equal measure. The song's twisted lyrics and ominous beat, paired with a now iconic music video, launched Tyler into the public eye and controversy. Yet, underneath the inflammatory lines is a sharp critique of rap culture, celebrity, and self-perception. One of the most notable aspects of Goblin is its production. Almost entirely produced by Tyler himself, the album is sonically minimalistic, often built around eerie synths, heavy bass, and sparse drum patterns. This raw, lo-fi aesthetic adds to the album's claustrophobic and unsettling atmosphere. Songs like She, featuring Frank Ocean, and Nightmare reveal a surprising vulnerability, highlighting Tyler's ability to oscillate between aggression and introspection. The tension between these modes mirrors the internal struggle he narrates throughout the album. In retrospect, Goblin can be seen as the beginning of Tyler's metamorphosis, from the angsty rebel to the nuanced, genre-bending artist he is today. While not without its faults, the album remains an essential artifact of early 2010s hip-hop. Daring, divisive, and wholly unique, it captured the voice of a generation disillusioned with conformity and aching for self-definition. As both a cultural statement and a psychological case study, Goblin stands as Tyler's raw and unapologetic mission statement. Released in April 2013, Wolf marks a turning point in Tyler, the Creator's career. An album that tempers his raw aggression with introspective storytelling, vivid production, and character-driven narratives. Wolf represents Tyler's gradual evolution from a rebellious provocateur to a multifaceted artist. Through a loosely conceptual storyline, refined production choices, and glimpses of vulnerability, Wolf reveals a maturing Tyler struggling to reconcile fame, personal trauma, and his creative ambitions. At the heart of Wolf lies a fictional summer camp setting, Camp Flog Gnaw, where Tyler navigates relationships, rivalries, and emotional growth through the eyes of various personas, including Wolf Haley, Sam, and Salem. This narrative framework adds a layer of depth to the album, with conflicts between characters acting as metaphors for internal strife. The tension between Sam and Wolf, especially over the love interest Salim, becomes a symbolic battleground for identity and emotional insecurity. Musically, Wolf showcases a significant leap forward in Tyler's production. Unlike the abrasive lo-fi beats of Goblin, Wolf is layered, melodic, and at times jazzy, infused with lush piano chords, strings, and 1990s neo-soul influences. Lyrically, Tyler begins to peel back layers of his persona on the album. On Answer, one of the album's most heartfelt tracks, he addresses the absence of his father with a mix of anger and longing. In contrast, IFHY, featuring Pharrell, explores love through the lens of obsession and immaturity, highlighting Tyler's struggle with emotional communication. These moments of vulnerability give Wolf a depth often overshadowed by his controversial public image at the time. In retrospect, Wolf is a bridge album. It marks the beginning of Tyler's shift away from shock value and toward more nuanced storytelling and self-expression. The camp setting, the recurring characters, and the mix of musical styles all point to a creator experimenting with form and emotion in increasingly sophisticated ways. Wolf is Tyler, the creator's coming-of-age album, messy, beautiful, defiant, and tender. It retains the rebellious spirit of his early work, but infuses it with introspection, musicality, and vision. With Wolf, Tyler laid the groundwork for the emotional and sonic complexity that would define his later masterpieces. Released on April 13, 2015, Cherry Bomb is Tyler, the creator's most polarizing and experimental album to date. Cherry Bomb stands as a chaotic, ambitious middle chapter, an album that both challenges and defies the expectations of listeners. Where earlier projects established Tyler as a provocateur and burgeoning storyteller, Cherry Bomb is an all-out sonic rebellion, defined by maximalist production, genre-blending aesthetics, and a refusal to be easily categorized. At first glance, Cherry Bomb feels like an exercise in excess. The opening track, Death Camp, hits with distorted guitars, manic vocals, and energy that's more punk rock than hip-hop. The influence of Pharrell and N.E.R.D. is apparent throughout the album, especially in the fusion of funk, jazz, punk, and soul that Tyler weaves together with hip-hop as the backbone. On songs like Two-Seater and Find Your Wings, Tyler shifts into softer, jazzier territory, enlisting collaborators like Kali Uchis and Roy Ayers to bring warmth and beauty to the chaos. What makes Cherry Bomb so striking is its production. Tyler took full creative control, self-producing the entire album, and in doing so, crafted one of the most sonically dense projects of his career. Cherry Bomb is Tyler, the creator's most chaotic and divisive album, and that's what makes it so essential. It captures a moment of artistic unrest, where Tyler prioritized experimentation over expectation and personal evolution over public approval. While it may lack the lyrical cohesion of his later work, it remains a testament to his willingness to disrupt, redefine, and rebuild his sound. In its distortion, noise, and beauty, Cherry Bomb is Tyler's declaration of independence, a loud, messy, and ultimately liberating explosion of creativity. Released on July 21, 2017, Flower Boy, officially titled Scumfuck Flower Boy, marked a transformative moment in Tyler, the creator's career, artistically, emotionally, and personally. Known for his early persona of chaotic provocation and abrasive humor, Tyler used Flower Boy to shed much of that mask and offer listeners a vulnerable, musically rich, and introspective body of work. It is both a coming-of-age story and a creative rebirth, one that redefined Tyler not just as a rapper, but as a fully realized artist and producer. Flower Boy sets a meditative tone. Over jazzy chords and moody melodies, Tyler immediately begins wrestling with loneliness, relevance, and existential anxiety. Here, Tyler's introspection is front and center. He is no longer hiding behind alter egos like Wolf Haley or lewd punchlines. He is asking hard questions, especially about himself. The album's production is one of its most striking features. Entirely self-produced, Flower Boy blends neo-soul, jazz, funk, and ambient textures with smooth, carefully layered instrumentation. Songs like See You Again, featuring Kali Uchis, and Garden Shed featuring Estelle showcase lush arrangements that float between dreamlike harmonies and hip-hop rhythms. The sonic warmth of these tracks reflects the emotional warmth that Tyler begins to seek and share throughout the record. Critically, Flower Boy was a turning point. It earned widespread acclaim for its artistic growth and emotional depth, and it was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 2018 Grammy Awards. More importantly, it redefined Tyler's public image. No longer just the loud, rebellious figurehead of Odd Future, but a complex, genre-defying artist capable of deep empathy and masterful songwriting. Flower Boy is Tyler, the creator's metamorphosis. It's the moment he stepped out of the shadows of shock and into the light of self-awareness, musical refinement, and emotional honesty. The album is not just about personal growth. It is personal growth in sonic form. Through Flower Boy, Tyler cultivated a new creative identity, one that embraces softness, complexity, and beauty without fear. In doing so, he didn't just evolve, he bloomed. Released on May 17, 2019, Igor is not only Tyler, the creator's most sonically adventurous album to date, it is also his most emotionally direct. Igor goes even further into uncharted territory. It's not a rap album in the traditional sense. It's not quite soul, funk, or pop either. It's a genre-defying, emotionally turbulent breakup story told through distorted synths, layered vocals, and shifted moods. With Igor, Tyler doesn't just explore the chaos of love, he becomes it. Unlike Tyler's earlier records, Igor is largely driven by emotion over narrative clarity. It tells the story of a love triangle, Tyler falling for a man who is already involved with a woman, though this plot is fragmented and often submerged beneath the music's texture. What makes Igor so compelling is that the story unfolds more through feeling than literal storytelling. From the moment the distorted bass line of Igor's theme kicks in, the listener is thrown into a dense emotional landscape, not guided by logic or plot, but by instinct, heartbreak, and mood swings. One of Igor's most radical achievements is its refusal to follow hip-hop conventions. Tyler barely raps on the album. Most of the vocals are sung, filtered through pitch effects, or layered with background harmonies. This subversion paid off. Igor debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and went on to win Best Rap Album at the 2020 Grammy Awards. Though Tyler himself criticized the category placement, calling it a backhanded compliment. In many ways, that moment reflected what Igor truly represents. A bold, genre-defying work that challenged how Black artists, especially rappers, are boxed in by the music industry's narrow definitions.
Winning this award today?
I'm half and half on it. On one side, I'm very grateful that what I made could just be, acknowledged in a world like this. But also, it sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending or that's anything, they always put it in a rap or urban category, which is, and I don't like that urban word. It's just a politically correct way to say the N-word to me. So when I hear that, I'm just like, why can't we just be in pop? Why can't it just, you know what I mean? So I felt like half of me feels like the rap nomination was a backhanded compliment. Like, my little cousin wants to play the game. Let's give him the unplugged controller so he could shut up and feel good about it. That's what it felt like a bit. But another half of me is very grateful that the art that I made could be acknowledged on a level like this when I don't do the radio stuff. I'm not played in Target. I'm in a whole different world than what a lot of people here listen to. So I'm grateful and like,
In Igor, Tyler doesn't just break the mold, he remakes it. The result is a masterwork that cemented his place not just as a rapper, but as a visionary artist unafraid to evolve, experiment, and tell the truth even when it hurts. Released in June 2021, Call Me If You Get Lost marks Tyler, the creator's return to a more rap-focused style after the lush, melodic textures of Igor. Framed as a DJ drama-hosted Gangsta Grillz mixtape, the album blends bravado, wanderlust, and vulnerability. Tyler resurrects the aggressive lyricism of his earlier work, but tempers it with maturity and emotional depth. A standout feature of the album is its seamless genre fusion. Tracks like What's Your Name incorporate R&B and soul samples, while Hot Wind Blows floats on an airy French jazz loop. Tyler's storytelling shines brightest on Wilshire, an 8-minute emotional spiral through a doomed romance showcasing his growth as a narrator. Thematically, the album explores the complexities of success, unrequited love, and personal evolution. Tyler crafts a character, Tyler Baudelaire, who personifies opulence and heartbreak, traveling through Europe in luxury while wrestling with inner conflicts. DJ Drama's bombastic ad-libs add nostalgic flair, grounding the project in mixtape culture while elevating its artistic ambition. Critically, Call Me If You Get Lost was praised for its production, cohesion, and lyrical dexterity. It won Best Rap Album at the 2022 Grammy Awards and solidified Tyler's position as one of hip-hop's most versatile and innovative figures. Tyler, the Creator's Chromacopia, stylized in all caps, is a bold, genre-blurring, introspective masterpiece that marks his 8th studio album, released October 28, 2024. Its title, drawn from the character Chroma the Great in the Phantom Toll Booth, embodies Tyler's control over color, both sonic and emotional, while nodding to a darker, militaristic twist on a childhood trope. Assuming Chromacopia refers to a vibrant, perhaps experimental musical work, we can interpret it as a project that embraces genre hybridity and sensory stimulation. Whether it's an independent electronic release, a hyperpop album, or a multimedia piece, Chromacopia can be viewed as a celebration of color, both sonically and emotionally. Unlike Tyler's diaristic approach, Chromacopia likely emphasizes atmosphere, texture, and abstraction. It may draw from glitch, ambient, and synthetic sounds, weaving them into a kaleidoscopic tapestry. Vocals could be distorted or fragmented, serving more as an instrument than a vehicle for direct narrative. Where Call Me If You Get Lost leans on nostalgia and introspection, Chromacopia, as imagined or interpreted here, may look to the future, exploring the boundaries of sound and perception. Its audience might be niche, but its artistic value lies in its boldness and innovation. Tyler, the Creator's discography stands as a bold and transformative force in modern hip-hop. From the raw, rebellious energy of Goblin to the lush, genre-blending sounds of Igor and the introspective sophistication of Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler has continually pushed boundaries, both sonically and thematically. His fearless approach to vulnerability, identity, and creativity has inspired a new generation of artists to embrace authenticity and innovation. More than just music, Tyler's work challenges traditional hip-hop norms and expands the genre's emotional and artistic range, cementing his legacy as one of the most influential and visionary voices in contemporary music.